I'm in the small town of Cherryville, North Carolina. The locals here call it Cherville. When I first started painting, my inclination was to paint things that came natural to me. I realized right away that landscapes were difficult and that if I painted still lifes, the outcome was much better. Later, I moved on to portraits and realized that my skill set was good for painting people as well. My natural drawing skills allowed me to bring out accurate proportions and details to make portraits that seemed to impress others. Some people even saying that they looked photorealistic. So when I started this painting channel, I could have doubled down on the painting style and subjects that I'm naturally good at. So why in the world have I started a landscape painting channel, and the hardest kind of landscape painting at that, plein air painting? I'd like to share a story with you. This is a Japanese parable called Kana and Kumo. In a quiet village tucked between Japan's misty cedar forest and green rice paddies, there lived a young girl named Kana and her loyal dog Kumo. Kana's name meant powerful, though she often felt anything but. She liked peace, predictability, and the soft rhythm of her daily walks along the flat village path. Each morning, Kana and Kumo would stroll past the same tea shop, the same plum trees, and the same bend in the stream. It was calm and safe, just the way Kana liked it. One spring day, they passed an old woman slowly climbing the steep mountain trail with a heavy basket on her back. Kana watched her with wide eyes and called out, "Wouldn't it be easier to stay on the flat path?" The woman chuckled and replied, "Child, it is in the climbing that you become strong. The mountain doesn't shrink, but you grow." Kana turned her gaze to the towering path ahead. It looked exhausting, dangerous, and impossible. But something stirred in her heart, like the whisper of her name, Kana. Powerful. Just mixing up some of the different colors I'm seeing in the sky. The next morning, she tightened her sandals, packed rice balls and water, and turned to Kumo. "Let's find out what it means to be powerful," she said. The mountain path was steep, wild, and unforgiving. Kana slipped more than once. Thorns scratched her legs, her heart pounded, but Kumo barked encouragement each time she paused. She wanted to turn back many times, but slowly something began to change. She learned how to place her feet firmly. She timed her breaths with each step. She began noticing wildflowers, the sound of distant waterfalls, and the way the wind felt stronger the higher she climbed. When she finally reached the summit, her legs trembled. Her clothes were dusty, and sweat clung to her brow, but her eyes sparkled. Kumo barked joyfully, and Kana laughed, the sound echoing into the sky. When she made her way down to the village, the old woman met her with a knowing smile. "You've begun to understand your name," she said. "Power doesn't always look loud. Sometimes it's the quiet strength that pushes you to keep climbing." From that day on, Kana walked the mountain path often. It never became easy, but she became powerful, just like her name. And in time, when others hesitated at the base of the climb, Kana would smile and say, "Come on, the mountain won't shrink, but you will grow." I'm not a good plein air painter, but I'm getting better at it. And I think that one day I will be good. It's my opinion that if I only paint the things that I'm good at, I'll be comfortable, but I'll never grow. But if I paint the things that are hard for me, everything I paint, including the stuff I'm already naturally good at, will all get better. So I choose Kana's path and I push forward up the mountain, even when it's hard. The sun is coming out. So, we get some of that blue sky.
there's no customers, time goes by slowly. Well,
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I used to love to draw as a kid, but I never could paint.
Oh
I
yeah.
could draw about anything, but paint, just getting the shadowing right,
Oh yeah.
was really tough. But pencils or markers or anything like that, it's just easy. But
Sure.
looking good.
Thanks, man. You should pick it back up again.
I try to sketch a little bit now, but time is the hardest thing for me. I haven't time to do it.
I got you. Yeah.
Soon I'm moving to Tokyo, Japan, and I'm sure that I'm going to experience all kinds of challenges while I'm living there. I'm moving to Tokyo because I've joined a team of Christians there, and I'm becoming a long-term missionary to help teach people in Japan about Jesus. And the story of Kana is also a biblical principle. In the Bible, we learn that hardships are often used by God to teach us things and to help us grow. The Bible calls them trials and tribulations. And in the book of Malachi, it teaches us that God purifies us through these trials and tribulations, kind of like the way that gold and silver is purified through fire. Anyway, I'm sure that I'm going to experience hardships in Japan, and I know that I'll grow from it, and I know that God will see me through it. But I can also apply this biblical principle to almost any aspect of my life, not just the hardships in Japan, but even painting, because I want to be at a place where I'm constantly growing and challenging myself. And I've painted a lot of different ways and a lot of different subjects, and I'll continue to paint at home, and I'll continue to paint portraits and still lifes and all of that. But I can say that plein air painting is by far the hardest way to paint. And that's the thing that I both love and hate about it. But for that very reason, now that I've started, I don't think that I will ever stop plein air painting. Alright, so I'm finished here, and I've been on the scene too long as it is. I'm going to get going, but I want to give you a close-up look. Some of the texture. So, completed this one on location from start to finish in plein air. I'm going to call this one finished and move on to the next one.